Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Today, instead of doing a restoration job, we are going to be doing a tune-up on this Dodge Challenger Hellcat stock, which is on the mod shop. I will link it in the description for those who want to check it out. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be replacing some stock parts with performance parts, and I'll go ahead and walk you guys through what we are going to do right now. So I'm going to start by getting the engine cover off. And then we're going to jump in here. We're going to be replacing the spark plugs, the exhaust system, all the way back to the mufflers. I'm not going to really play with the gearbox right now. I'm not really familiar with it, but I will in the future. That is a really good idea to do that. I'll see if I can change that on the intake a little bit. But other than that, that's what we're doing. I believe we do have air. Do we have an air intake system in this? I don't know if we do or not. We should. But we're just going to basically be replacing some performance parts, or excuse me, regular parts with performance parts. And we'll be comparing a before and after on the dyno to see what we gain. So let's go ahead and assemble the engine. And then, whoops, I gotta go back to normal. Let's go ahead and bring this to the dyno now to get a reference point for our performance upgrades. Let's go on in here and close the door. And then let's start the dyno test and let's see what our start is. So, let me get a pen and a pad of paper here. We're gonna go ahead and see what our start is. So 584 horsepower. I'm not really too concerned about the RPMs. I'm just concerned about the horsepower and torque. And then 534 pound-feet. Okay, so we have that written down. Let's go ahead, because I'm going to forget it. Actually, I don't even have to write it down. I'm an idiot. It'll show factory engine power, and it will also show the new engine power. But in the event that it doesn't, we have it written down. So let's go ahead and start our dyno. And that engine sounds mean. And I don't like the sound of that whistling, though. Okay, so we have a gain slash loss. We actually have a loss. Wow. So we have to figure out what that loss is. Interesting. I didn't actually think you could have a loss. Alright, well let's go ahead and start our diagnostics on this thing. I gotta move it to a car lifter. So what could cause a loss of engine power? Let's see if this car has all the components in it. Or if it's missing some. It might be missing something. Does it have some sort of like air intake or whatever? Let's go up here to A. Let's see here. It might be that it's because it's missing an air intake. Well, no, it wouldn't be because it has the turbocharger. Alright, let's go ahead and figure this out. Why would an engine have a loss of power? Well, we're tuning this thing up today. Let's go ahead and start by removing the ignition coils, which are probably all in really good condition. This was an auction find, actually. So most of this stuff should be in good condition. I paid a good amount of money for this car. But we are going to replace the coils and spark plugs. Alright, let's get the fuel filter off while we are here. We're gonna stay with stock fuel rails. I was gonna say performance, but they're already stock. So let's go ahead and go to our shop and pick up, whoops, wrong shop. We need to go to the tuning shop. Yes. So we need some spark plugs. Let's go ahead and just type in spark. We need 8 of them. And then ignition coils. We need 8 of those as well. These are some expensive parts, but it's going to be a beast of a car in the end. Whoops, I just put the wrong ignition core, excuse me, spark plug in. We need to put these performance ones in. There we go, that's better. Or did I put the right plug in? I may have put the right plug in from the start, I'm not sure. Yeah, because it automatically goes to the highest quality part. Alright, so put the coils cover back on. So I don't need to remove anything, I need to put stuff in. So let's get back to thinking what would cause a loss of engine power. There's either going to be a restriction in the air or a restriction in the fuel. Let's just figure this out. There's got to be something wrong with the car. Let's see if, not examine. Examine tools. Let's do an OBD scan. Let's see if there's anything wrong with the car. So everything's good. We obviously just replaced the plugs in the ignition coils. So let's go ahead and do a compression test. Engine needs to be complete to perform this action. Oh, I forgot the fuel filter. That's right. I was sitting there thinking, okay, we're on to something, but nope, we're not. I forgot to put the fuel filter back on. Which, why would you need a fuel filter to do a compression test? Let's go ahead and, why is it? There we go, I gotta go to that. Okay, let's do a compression test. Okay, pistons and rings are good. The block is good. Crank is good. Okay. Next up, let's get the meter out and see if the electrical part is good to go. Alright, everything electrical is good. What else do we have here? Tire tread. I don't think that's going to cause a... Yeah, tires are good. I don't think they would cause that much of a loss. Salmon tools. Alright, fuel pressure test. There's got to be something that's causing a loss. Other than that, it might be the air intake. Yeah, fuel is good. It's got to be because there's... I mean, I don't see any way to put air in here. I mean, this is a modded car. So, yeah. I'm a little bit confused as to why we have such a loss of power. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the car status. There's nothing that would cause us to have a huge loss in power. Obviously, we're missing an engine cover. Let's go up slowly and see if we're missing anything here. I do not see anything that we're missing. It would show up grayed out if we were missing it. Yeah. I think it's because there's no air intake in the vehicle. But let's go ahead and get back to what we were actually doing from the start. Let's get some performance parts put in this. I'm going to leave the supercharger be. Let's see if we can mount anything. No, we can't. Alright, well, I'm going to leave the supercharger be. Let's go ahead and get to the exhaust parts, and then we'll replace the fuel pump with a performance fuel pump. And then we will go back to the dyno and see if we actually gain anything. I just don't know what that whining sound is. It doesn't sound right to me. We're going to have to do some diagnostics on that. Alright. Let's go to exhaust here. Let's do a quick little examination of the rear end. I don't see anything wrong with anything. Maybe a bad wheel bearing causing that high-pitched sound? Not really sure. Well, when we're back on the dyno, we'll figure that out. We'll figure out what it is. Alright, let's go ahead and work on getting the exhaust replaced. We need 2 rear muffler V8s. We need 2 exhaust pipes, 2 middle mufflers, 2 cats. Pretty much the generic exhaust setup that most vehicles have in this game. And then a rear muffler V8. Let's not buy the wrong one. And then I think we're going to need front exhaust pipe V8s, but let's go ahead and jump up here. Yes, we need regular front exhaust pipe V8s. Do I need... oh, it's already on. Part disassemble. Alright, let's go ahead and get this reassembled here. Oh, we were going to do the manifolds as well, weren't we? Yes, we were. Let's type in manifold. They're going to be V8 manifolds, so we need to go to... right there. And we can't access those down here, so let's go ahead and go up to the engine bay and do those real quick. Then after that, I'm going to check the wheel bearings, because I really don't know what's causing that sound. I'm trying to get into the engine bay, you dumb game. Nice new shiny headers. Hopefully we can recover from our 6% loss in power and torque. Hopefully we can figure out why we have it. I'm pretty sure it's just because there's no air intake. But I could be wrong. Alright, let's go ahead and get back under the car now that that is done. Another thing we need to do is we need to do an oil change as well. Got to do those little things like that. Next cat. Alright, let's move back to the middle mufflers. Did I not buy the middle mufflers, or did I just select the wrong one? I did not buy any middle mufflers. Okay, well that's a problem. Middle mufflers. There we go, that's better. And then let's move back to the exhaust pipes. Get this weird camera angle out of my face, and then we'll just flip around and we will get the other rear muffler. Alright. Let's go ahead and save my game and drop this thing down. Actually, no, we need to do an oil change. Go ahead and use the equipment. I don't really know what normal oil looks like in this game because they've changed the texture of it so many times in the past. And let's go ahead and... where's the filter? Can we get the filter from under here? Yes, we can. It's a V8 oil filter. V8. There we go. Nice new oil filter. Let's drop this down. And get oil in the engine before I forget. That is a habit that I've gotten into over the last couple of videos. I've forgotten to put oil in engines. Alright, just as soon as it starts to overflow, we will stop. I'm going to go ahead and stop now. A little more. There we go. Alright, $20 oil change. Gotta love it. And then all we need to do now is go to assemble mode and put the engine cover on. So, I believe, let's go ahead and check the car status. Check and see if there's anything missing. I don't think there's anything missing. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to the dyno and see if there's any change in our performance. Kinda hoping there is. Alright, so here's our factory engine power. We're gonna go ahead and run the dyno. Still has that whine to it. Oh, that's a terrible whine. We gained some horsepower and we gained some torque. That's what counts right there, guys. But holy cow, that sound is terrible. We're gonna take this out to the test track. I wonder if we can test the wheel bearings. Let's move this. What am I doing? We're gonna take this out to the test track, guys. I really want to figure out what's wrong with this car. It sounds terrible. It might just be the car itself. That might be how it sounds, but That should not sound like that in real life. Alright, we need to go to the test track with the Dodge Challenger Hellcat stock. And I'm going to grab my controller here because this game does support controller driving. Alright, let's go ahead and get to third person. Alright, let's go ahead and go on the test track. Oh, we have too much torque on the wheels. We're going to need to replace the tires at some point. Wrong type of tires. Yeah, that whistling sound. Something's wrong with this car. And I would love to know what it is. Yeah, that torque to the back wheels is too much. Too much performance increase. Suspension test and then the brakes test. We can use this wheel slippage to our advantage. Oh, look at that drift. Would have been perfect if I could keep it going. Alright, we are done with the test drive. Let's see if it can figure out what the problem is. The wheel hub bearings are good. I am completely and utterly at a loss as to what the problem is with this car. One more thing we're gonna do. If the test path cannot tell us what is wrong with this car, then I am confused. I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. I need to go start it here. Alright, let's move it forward. Got a nice interior, I'll give you that. Performance, what does that say? Performance pages? I think that whine is just part of the vehicle's sound. Yeah. I guess that sound... I don't know why it didn't get me out of the vehicle, but... I guess that sound I'm hearing is part of the, vehicle. Alright, well... I don't want to own a vehicle that sounds like that. So guys, that is going to conclude this video. My original plan for this was to do some tune-ups on this. Get a nice big increase on horsepower and torque, but it turned out to me trying to figure out what was wrong with this car. And I honestly don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this car. There's something wrong with it. It might be just part of the car just because it's a mod car, but still. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a quick look over of it, make sure it's in good condition, and then we're going to sell it because I don't need it. I honestly don't want to own a car that sounds like that. And I know that I was talking about doing some gearbox stuff with it, but I'll pick another car that isn't a mod car. I have a couple of cars in mind that I could do it with. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and go to our car status. We could get $98,000 plus some restoration stuff. Bonus as well. How much would we get? $106,000 for a car that does not sound right? Yes. Alright, that is going to conclude this video, guys. I apologize for having those issues. That was not my intention. But we learned a thing or two today. We're not buying another Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next Car Mechanic Simulator video. Take care.